Hi, you're with Scott. Should we switch to big face? Make sure the stream's running and that I can hear you. Make sure the stream's running. Yep. Hi, you're with Scott. This is Ganji Kid, our Twitch stream. That's not what I'm going to say for the edit, is it? Let's pop out chat as well. Let's make sure chat is popped. Chat's been popped. Should appear. Hi, you're with Scott. This is Mental... Hi, you're with Scott. This is Mental Health Monday, a podcast, a live stream on Ganji Kid on Twitch, edited for True Binaural and ASMR on YouTube. It's midnight. It's always midnight. This is your right ear and your left ear. Where's my clapperboard? There's my clapperboard. Done that. Got that done. Little sip on the old tea. First thing we always say on Mental Health Mondays, that if you're struggling with something, if you feel you're at crisis point, you can always come here and talk to us in chat. But of course you can always call the Samaritans. There's a free phone number there. Connect with someone that can just listen, do a bit of talking. So that's there as a resource. What we're doing today is the 5 steps to mental well-being. Oh, that's bright, isn't it? It's bright. COVID. Get the latest advice about COVID. The COVID. That's something stressful and worry. It causes anxieties, isn't it? So I'm just going to move that off there. This is the 5 steps to mental well-being, presented by the NHS. www.nhsuk/mental health. I can do this now. Copy. Get your chat. Paste. Chat. Boom. There you go. It's on the screen. See, I'm learning. That's what we're going to be doing today. Because last week we did a questionnaire thing, and we didn't get to the help bit. We didn't get to the actionable 5 steps. So we've got 5 steps. We might talk about a little more than 5 steps, but we'll do 5 steps. And before we do, we're going to do big face a little bit. Before we do, there's a couple of mini... Hey Callum, how you doing? Nice to see you here. A couple of mini announcements to make. Capital K, King Kelvin, has gifted an enormous amount of subs. So you should be subbed by merit of a gifted sub. So you can say thank you to Capital K when you see him. And that was an extraordinary, celebratory, positive thing that happened to the stream, to our Ganji Buko Warrior crew within this realm. That's something that happened this week, so we're marking that, making an announcement about it on this stream, which will be on True Binaural, so making sure that we share that far and wide. I'm maintaining calm, cool, calm for the True Binaural edit, so not blowing any trumpets or banging any drums, but imagine trumpets and drums. So that happened. Then something else that also happened was that I had a panic attack, like a full Tony Soprano panic attack. I was only chilling. I was playing on the Nintendo Switch and just playing a bit of FIFA. A bit late at night, sat on the old sofa. Then all of a sudden it was like, right here. Cut a long story short, I paced around the kitchen for about 15 seconds, thinking, do I need to call the ambulance? Didn't call the ambulance, but the good people of Stream the good people of Stream World, Ganji Book Warrior crew, when I turned on the stream the next day, they said, oh, you should possibly go to the old hospital. Maybe have a look at the old hospital, see what the old doctor says. And we all agreed as a group that was probably a good idea. So I went to the old hospital just in case. And I'm okay. There's no physiological, cardiological, not a heart attack, definitely a panic attack. Well, I say definitely. They said, the old doctor, the young doctor, she said it was possibly a panic attack. But I said, no, it can't. It couldn't be a panic attack because I have anxiety. I feel anxiety, and over the last 10 years or so, I've been dealing with it and combating it. I take metazapine. We haven't discussed medication on stream, have we? As an episode in Mental Health Monday, but maybe we should sometime. But yeah, I have that. That really helps, and I also I do the meditation. Not strong, not big meditation, but I can center myself. I do the mindfulness. Did the cognitive behavioural therapy. That really helped. So I said, no, doctor, I'm good. I feel the anxiety. I combat it. I've been feeling positive this last few months. I've been pushing forward, working on something good on stream. Things have been going well. We recently, that week we had this subscriber avalanche, and I said, so doctor, how could I be feeling? I was playing a video game. I was chilling, and it felt physiological. The doctor said that my chest muscles probably went into spasm. That's why it felt so physiological. But I'm talking to you now on Mental Health Monday with tips and advice for mental well-being. We're going to learn some stuff together, because it seems that despite the leaps and bounds in progress that I felt I'd made, there are still some things that I need to address. Anxiety needs to be reduced as a general concept even further. Yeah, and the doctor did raise this other point that I said that, I was doing well, things are progressing going forward. But she said, well, you've just had a hard year. Everyone's had a hard year. And I said, yeah, I agree with that. And she said, you lost your nan, because I'd said about that. And I said, yeah, but I was, dealing with that and have accepted things. She said, still, these are things that have caused you excess stress and anxiety. And it's come out like that. So I have to accept the doctor. I have to accept what they've said. And together today, even though I feel like anxiety myself, I felt a little bit anxious about just coming. I'm here now talking to you. It's a lot of pressure, isn't it? It's a lot of pressure. We got 50 subs. We're a rolling pro stream. So I feel that it's important that I provide value for that, and push things forward. So a lot of pressure. It's not a lot of pressure. It feels like fun, but I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad. Maybe it's a good thing that somebody that's talking to you about anxiety, depression, is feeling those things very recently and dealing with the similar things. I hope you feel hopeful that you can combat these things, because I felt that I had, and don't feel worried that someone who felt they had combated it still suffers with some of the symptoms. It's an ongoing progressive thing. So with that said, where's my web browser? Let's shuffle you around. If you just like to shuffle up a little bit. Yeah, shuffle up a bit there. Just going to shuffle you up quite a lot there. Sorry about that. And let's have a look at some 5 steps to mental well-being. Maybe I can learn something here. Maybe there's something we can learn together. Evidence suggests there are 5 steps, which is handy because people like things that are in little lists that are like bullet points. I imagine we're going to learn more than 5, and I'm going to go off on some tangents, but let's see where we go. You can take to improve your mental health and well-being. Trying these things could help you feel more positive and able to get the most out of life. So that's good. Big tick there, we like that. 1, boom. I hope you've not been reading this before we got to it. You know the rules. You know the rules. I do the reading. Connect with other people. Good relationships are important for your mental well-being. They can help you to build a sense of belonging and self-worth. They can give you an opportunity to share positive experiences. They can provide emotional support and allow you to support others. So let's just pause for a moment while I just take this in. Good relationships are important for your mental health. They help you to sense belonging and self-worth. They help you to feel needed in the world. Needed, is that the right word? Personal relationships help you to build a sense of belonging and self-worth. Yeah, I'm happy with that, I guess. They give you an opportunity to share positive experiences. I'll agree with that in a big way. I'll say that over this last year with COVID, simple meetups, seeing more varied groups of people hasn't been possible. Sharing those experiences, having those chats has been limited, but still happened. We play Fortnite on the old headsets, me and some of my sister's friends and my friends, our friends, and we chat in a social way like that, I guess. But yeah, connecting with people gives you an opportunity to share positive experiences. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I can tell people about the 50 sub avalanche. And it's interesting that what we do here on Told Internet, I'm pretty sure. No, it's okay. I'm happy to be dealing with things. Like, dealing with things is a good way to phrase it, because dealing with it means that I'm taking it on and coping with it. Not dealing with it would be worse, I think. But yeah, it just happened out of nowhere as well. So, what can you do? Well, we're going to find out what you can do right now. I'm going to connect with more people. I'm enjoying the connection that we have on stream. I'm imagining that it's going to tell me at some point that you're not allowed to just do it on your phone. You've got to do it in real life as well. But we'll see. We'll see. Provide emotional support and allow you to support others. That's a good thing as well, isn't it? That's good. Being emotionally supportive and gaining support from connecting with people. Yeah, happy with those things. Got some do's. Everything's a tick here. Look. Everything's a tick. Yeah, I can always talk to my Ganji Puko warriors, and I always do. Quite happy to do that. And if you're watching on True Binaural ASMR and you want to join in and be a Ganji Puko warrior and come and talk in chat, absolutely, you're very welcome here. I understand that I broadcast at certain times. There's different time zones. You don't feel pressured to be here at a certain time. You can always take this in on the Ganji Kid YouTube channel, on True Binaural, at your own pace. So it's all at your own pace. You've got a checklist of green ticks. This should all be good. If possible, take time each day to be with your family. For example, try arranging a fixed time to eat dinner together. That's a good one. That's a good one. We did Come Dine With Me. There's a TV programme in the UK. I'll get a big face. Let's do a big face. Wee. There's a TV programme in the UK called Come Dine With Me, where people go around each other's houses and eat dinner, and then they give each other scores at the end. Like, that was a 9. Imagine a 9. And yeah, each host provides some sort of entertainment, does the dinner, and then they all chat about it and stuff. It's a sort of game show, so they're strangers. But we did the same concept, me and my friends. So 4 of us went round, took each, every Thursday for a month, we went round each other's houses each Thursday, and each of us did a different themed night. Yeah, it was a really simple concept, but it was really fun. It wasn't too much pressure to do, I think, because it was just our friends, and we didn't expect too much of each other. But we all put on quite a bit of a spread and a bit of a show. Yeah, I made everyone eat pumpkin in each serving of each course because I'd recently grown some pumpkins at the allotment. So we had pumpkin pie, we had pumpkin bolognese, and we had pumpkins to start, just slices of. But I didn't win when we did the scoring at the end. It was only for fun, but I didn't win. I didn't try to win. Just it was nice, wasn't it? And then once you've done your evening, once you've got it out of the way and done your cooking, then you can just go and enjoy somebody else cooking your dinner 3 weeks in a row. So there's a lot of benefit to that as well. Arrange a day out with friends that you've not seen for a while. We shouldn't skip over this, actually. This said your family. I was just talking about your friends. Arrange a day out with your friends. That's very similar. Be with your family. If you live with your family, if you live in the same household, in today's modern world, we don't tend to eat dinner together so often. And if you don't live with each other, then it's even less often, isn't it? But arrange a fixed time. That Come Dine With Me experience, it was booked in every Thursday. So we knew that I was coming. We knew that's what we were doing. So maybe book a dinner day, family dinner day. I don't know, I'm thinking about this. My family dinners always degenerate into arguments. So maybe it's not such a good tip. But maybe we can't resolve our differences if we don't sit down for dinner often and talk. Hey, arrange a day out with friends. That sounds nice. And now that the COVID laws are being relaxed a little, if we can do that responsibly, that would sound nice. Try switching off the TV to talk or play a game with your children, friends or family. If you've got children, then I imagine you sit them down in front of the telly so you can get some effing time on your own. But if you don't, then you don't have to talk to them, so that doesn't matter. Playing games with your friends and family is a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. Yeah, it's different to having a meal, isn't it? They've set that aside from having a meal and having a day out playing games. It's interesting that Twitch, we're here on a platform that's built around gaming, and social gaming is such a easily accessible modern phenomenon. So yeah, maybe that's positive to our mental health, social gaming. Have lunch with a colleague. That they're giving it a tick. They're giving it its own tick there. Have lunch with it. I don't think you should have expanded on that one. That's a bit. Have lunch with a colleague. I suppose if you work, I've worked places where I've chosen to eat lunch on my own. And I'm sure that there are places where you don't want to spend extra time with your colleagues if you don't have to. But maybe spending some time with them if you outside of the work setting here, in the lunch setting, might provide some relief from the day-to-day tasks. I don't know, have lunch with a colleague. It's got its own tick. So here's another one with a tick. Visit a friend or family member who needs support or company. That's a tick. That's a definite tick. Visiting people who need support. I walk the dog, and there's a lady who lives up the road, and when you walk past her house of a morning, if she's up and out and you're up and out, she'll come to the door and she'll give the dog some little dog biscuits. This is a big face moment, isn't it? I've got to remember to enlarge my face. We're a bit grainy today because I've gone for the high ISO. It doesn't matter about the camera settings. There's a lady with a dog. I've got the dog. She's at her house. And I walk the dog past. And she likes to come out and say hello to the dog, and he has a little biscuit. And you always say, how are you doing? You got everything you need? You doing all right? How's things? Have a little chat. And it's not going in her house and visiting and supporting in that way, because, I don't really know her that well, and there's a COVID, isn't there? There's staying in for the COVID, so she don't want me coming in her house. But yeah, definitely. I remember as well when I was younger, my nan and granddad used to take us to visit our Auntie Floss, and Auntie Floss lived on her own, and we used to go around and spend an afternoon there, just chilling when we were kids, have a bit of squash, play around. She had the glass cabinet, and there was all glass cats, and there was clowns made of glass, and you weren't allowed to touch them, but they were just there, just behind the glass, and I was like 5 or 6 years old, so I just wanted to touch it. Don't touch it. Yeah, going and visiting family members who need support, that's got a tick. It's good for your mental health as well as theirs. So that's a win-win, isn't it? That's a win-win. Let's go back to the old web browser so you can see what the effing F I'm talking about. Oh, we'll go big face again because I want to make an announcement about emojis that I forgot to make at the start of the broadcast. So, yes, you're all subbed. You're all subbed. And no, you haven't got these emoji. Look, the little dog with the hat. That's a nice one. That's a good one. I like that. We're gonna get some together. I've got slots to fill, but I actually feel that with the extra stress, anxiety that I've been feeling over the last few days, I was going to put that on my to-do list. Design emojis. I was going to get the pixel art out. I was going to do it myself. I still want to direct the overarching concepts, what the emotions are we're going to express. I still want to treat it like a little bit of an art project on stream together. So I think we'll do a stream together when we discuss it. But I thought maybe it might be a good idea. It might be a good idea. As we've got this bonus subscription month, if I, what's the word? Subcontract the work. Subcontract. I know some really incredible pixel animators, designers, artists. What am I saying? Designers, animators, artists. I met quite a few when I went to the Stugan game developer camp in Sweden. And I'm not just them, but there's a world of wonderful artists out there. Nigel, who supports the stream on Patreon, is a fantastic digital artist who's done the cards for We'll Be Back Soon and things like that. That's not not that one I just showed you. I'm just terrible at using my Windows. So, but yeah, so I'm making what I want on Big Face. We can edit that out. Gather my thoughts. Yeah, I thought what would be good, because we're a stream that talks about art and games and art and mental health and art and games. I thought it might be good if, as a Ganji Puka Warrior collective, we chose together the artist that we wanted to make our little pictures. And we had a little vote on it. You know, we audition an artist or two. We look at their work and say, oh, I like this. Oh, I like the way they've done that. And we come together and decide which 3 emotions we want to immortalise. Because this is forever, these emojis. Once you put them in, they're your emojis, then they're your emotes. Emotes. They're yours anyway. And, you know, you've got them then. So we want to get it right and do a good job. And I thought, yeah, see, I could try and help with the emotes. And I thought through this process, this collective process, we'd do a better job than if I just sat on my own trying to make pixel art after finishing editing on an evening. I thought, you see, I'm doing this, you know, that's where I feel anxious. That's where I feel the stress starting to tighten up. I thought it might be a better idea if instead of me doing it on my own, we do it together. So you haven't got any little pictures yet, but it will be an exciting project for us this week, next week. Trying to do the interview with the game developers this week. That's something I'm trying to do. Yeah, that's the announcement about the emojis. You're all subscribed, but you don't have any emojis. And you have to think of it as an opportunity and a more wonderful thing that you get to choose them and be part of the process rather than having them dumped on you and from above. So, yeah, that's a good thing that you haven't got emojis, theoretically. It's a good thing. See how that works. It's good. Back to our mental health, connecting with people. So maybe connecting with the artists and thinking up the emotions together will be good for our mental health. Volunteer at a local school. Well, not everyone is going to... you need a DBS check to do that. I've got one. I work with volunteer groups and I'm checked by the police to make sure that I'm not some dodgy dodgy geezer turning up. But I'm not sure schools are going to want to be inundated with random volunteers. Maybe they do, maybe they are, I don't know. But community group here, hospital or community group. Community group, I think, yeah. You know, there's lots of community groups that will be absolutely open arms. And charities, animal activism. Just snuck that in there because I'm a vegan. Yeah. Lots of groups that you can volunteer with. There's a Gov.uk website, but don't worry about what the government says. Follow your passions and consider volunteering. That's something we'll come back to. I'm certain we'll come back to that on the stream. Make the most of technology to stay in touch with friends and family. Boom, here we are. We're doing it. We're doing it. This is what's keeping me together. This is what's keeping us together. Literally. Video chat apps like Skype and FaceTime are useful, especially if you live far apart. Now, that's got a big green tick, and you have to bear in mind that this is written on the National Health Service website, which is a fantastic resource. But I wonder about the person who wrote this and how technologically minded they are, because tell you this is a secret. We're not using Skype anymore. We're not. People aren't using Skype anymore. They're on Zoom now. I think I've still got Skype. I think I've still got it, but they're on Zoom, aren't they? They're on Zoom. And all these other platforms and things, they really help. There's a great depth and breadth of social contact that can be had through technology. I mean, people who play, don't get excited and start yabbling off, Scott. Slow your roll. People who play Warcraft, for example, talk to each other through social media, don't they? Discord, or literally in Warcraft. They stay in touch with each other, their friends, through that, through the gaming community surrounding it. But yeah, absolutely, Skype and FaceTime are useful. And keeping in touch with people through technology is useful. I think most of us might take that for granted if, we're always on our phones. But maybe video chat. We don't always video chat, do we? That's interesting, isn't it? Should we big face that? Interesting point. Video chat has been available now for a long time, and yet we still choose to send texty messages or talk to you on the old hello phone. Maybe we should take that leap into video chat a little more and a little more often. Yeah. That was a little big face moment there for you. Let's go back to web browsing. Search and download online community apps on the NHS apps library if you fancy it. I'll tell you what you shouldn't do. Here. This is getting a red cross. Red cross, so this is definitely a no. This is definitely not to be done. Do not rely on technology or social media alone to build relationships. It's easy to get into the habit of only ever texting, messaging, or emailing people. So don't just do that. That's all right. Be physically active. Boom. Stepping in at number 2. Big stomper. We're doing 1 to 5, not 5 to 1. Boom. Got an itchy nose now. Don't want to scratch my nose on camera. It's not very polite, is it? Not very polite picking your nose. You don't pick your nose. You have to go with the one you've got. Be physically active. Being active is not only great for your physical health and fitness. Evidence also shows it can also improve your mental well-being. Also improve your mental well-being by raising your self-esteem. Yeah, I'd say yeah. Yeah, you feel better about yourself when you complete sporting activities, score the old goal. Yeah, no, I think, raising your self-esteem is a fair point, yeah. Feels good to do things, it's good to practice and get better, and sport gives you goals, like actionable, measurable targets. I want to run this distance, I want to make this time. But it also gives you more general goals that you can aspire to. I want to be better at this, or capable of climbing the thing, or it gives you a more broad set of goals, whilst giving you the opportunity to set yourself more short-term, measurable, actionable targets. And completing those challenges will raise your self-esteem as you realise that you're capable of more than maybe you even imagined. Helping you to set goals or challenges and achieve them. Oh, I didn't even read that, I just said it. Maybe I saw it. Maybe I saw it, subconsciously just said it out loud in my own brain. But yeah, I just said that one, so we'll jump over that. Jumping, doing something physical. Causing chemical changes in your brain which can help to positively change your mood. Yeah, I've heard that it releases good endorphins. I'm not an expert, although I did a lot of fitness training in my youth. I'm not an expert on how it works in your brain, but they're telling us it does, so we're going to believe them and say yes. Find out more about getting active. I'm not going to click that. We're going to go and do the rest of their list. We're going to stay on course. We've got to stay on course. No tangent. Stay on course. Get this one done. I'm not going to give myself huge amounts to edit out. I'm going to have to edit out this now that I'm rabbiting on about. Increased blood flow to the brain does wonders. I walk the dog every day. Do you want to do a big face? Do you want to hear it? I walk the dog every day. I walk the dog twice a day. It sounds like just a little meander, doesn't it? A little pot around. It's not. At night time, when he wants his little business, he's pulling me along. Oh, quick, daddy, quick, daddy, quick, daddy, quick, daddy. Quick to get there and do your business, and then quick to get home. Quick, daddy, quick, daddy. And so I brisk pace that. And then when we go out to the woods, we did it today. I was up a hill. It sounds like a nice walk in the woodland. It's not. I'm up a hill. Oh, chuffing away. Oh, stomping. Getting the old blood flow going, yeah. So I do a little bit, but I think there's going to be a list here that's going to embarrass me with the lack of physical activity that I get up to. Let's have a look. Find free activities to help you get fit. I've always thought this. The gym is expensive, and I'm sure there's benefits to being a member of a gym. I'm not sure about how much. Well, I don't have the money to give to them when I can run in the street. The world is my gym. But there are free activities to help you get fit, aren't there? Always like kicking a ball around. Always like that. People like to go and throw the frisbee. It's only the cost of the ball, isn't it, I suppose? If you've got a doggy like mine, then you have to buy multiples because he bites them. But have a look for some free activities. Vigorous exercise is important too, yeah, I'd agree. And like I say, when I'm chuffing my way up that hill, it's not just a little potter. I do the vigorous bit on the dog walks. Seem to get myself off the beaten path and clambering over tree stumps. And YouTube has some great workouts. There you go. I run up and down the stairs sometimes. Only when I'm feeling anxious and I'm worried I'm going to have a heart attack. And I said this before, don't take my advice, but people who run up and down the stairs ain't having heart attacks, so it helps me to cope with my anxiety. If you have a disability or long-term health condition, you can find out about getting active with a disability here on the NHS website. Start running with our Couch to 5K. Oh, 5K, run 5K. Ooh. Even when I used to train, I used to be part of the British fencing team, and it was fitness based. It was an athletic event, skill, timing, sword. I want to say mechanics because I've been gaming for. But the techniques, the martial art of working with the sword was very important. But so was your physical fitness and general health. It was an athletic event and took a lot out of you on that front. So we trained for fitness and stamina, muscle tone, not big, because you can't work swords if you're too big, but muscle tone, that sort of thing. And I did a lot of. I was never when they did the long. I've got a lovely story about this. We went to Poland on a fencing camp, and we went to this track. We were staying in a residential facility, and the coach took us to this track, big open running track. It wasn't tarmacked and stuff like that. It was like dust and sand, so it was harder to run on. It took more out of you, and big running track. It was the first thing in the morning, so we just had our breakfast. We've got our kit, running kit, ready to do some athletic training before, whatever else the day held. So we get there, and he goes, "Okay, run." A couple of us eager to make a competition out of it said, "How many laps? How many laps?" Because they wanted to know how to pace themselves if they're going to run fast, or how many. And he just said, "Oh, run." And big Polish guy, didn't speak much English, so we just got on with it. We started running. And we were running, and I gradually fall behind because I'm not, I can't do, I don't know, 5k sounds it's an extraordinary amount of distance, but apparently you can couch to 5k, which we're going to look at in a second. But we're running, I'm falling behind, getting lapped, it's happening, getting tired. And I start to think to myself, this is going on for a long time. So as you come round, and the coach, I stopped, and is this good now? Have I done running? And he said, no, why have you stopped? Run. So, I thought, maybe I've got lapped a few times, so I'm going to have to complete more laps than. No, it's not child abuse. It's not. It's training, isn't it? It's athletic training. But we ran, and it got to lunchtime. And we stopped for lunch. But it occurred to us that we had thought we would do like a 2 or 3 lap warm up, and what we'd actually done is just run for like the first half of the day. I don't know how many miles we covered and how many laps we covered. I don't think that was the point. I think it was something more about character and spirit, and once you're in a rhythm, you should be able to keep going, I guess. But yeah, he didn't give us a target. We didn't hit one. We just ran. Dying on your first day. And maybe it was a part of that. Maybe it was a fitness test. Maybe it was a coach trying to measure us in as simple a way as possible. And to be honest, we had a training team in Poland, so it wasn't just the Polish coaches, but some of the Polish methods. I remember the stretching as well. The stretching, when you're getting pushed, and you're like, oh, that hurts a bit, and they're like, good, that means it's working. Push you a little bit more. The stretching was kind of brutal, and we didn't carry that on in our regime forever. It was just something that they showed us their way. We tried it, and we were like, no thanks. But yeah, the Polish regime was a little more intense. And I hated running before. It's not that I hate it. It's just that naturally, physiologically, I tend to fall behind. People tend to have less trouble maintaining a higher tempo in their running. So I've just not been a good runner, I guess. So with training and stuff, I like to warm up. I like to do the activity to warm up, and then I like to do the other thing that is still physical activity, but I can feel more competitive out, I guess. But yeah, so that was my running story. Skip back to web browsing. You can start running and end up doing 5k. And I really don't want to pause on this too much, because I don't want anyone watching to get the idea that I might have to do this as some sort of forfeit. But it's an option. It's there. It's got a big green tick. And there's a podcast that helps you do it. Sounds really, really clever. I'll go big face quickly for another. One of my teachers at school told us, he said, can you do 100 press-ups? And we said, no, probably not, to be honest, Mr. Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins, he loved the rugby. He was one of these, he'd have you running. And can you do 100 press-ups? No, I don't think I could. Well, he said, you can, I'll show you how. And I thought, Mr. Jenkins is going to do 100 press-ups, and we're going to stand and watch him, and that's going to be our gym lesson for the day. And what an interesting lesson that would be. But no, instead he just did 10. And then he stood up and he was like, there you go. And we were like, well, that's just 10. So I know that maths is not your forte as a gym teacher, but we can all see the error in your logic. And he said, but tomorrow I'm going to do this. And then he did 11. And we were like, okay, that's 11. We're going to eventually get there, aren't we? And he explained that if you did 11 and then 12 the next day, 13 the next day, you increase in small ways, and eventually you can do 100 press-ups, which he didn't prove. He didn't prove that. He didn't show me 100 press-ups. He did 21 in total. And that's about how many I can do. Because I'm not going to do an extra one every day. But you can, apparently. And I hope that no one ever forces me to. But it's good for you. So maybe there's something I'm missing there. Find out about how to start swimming, cycling or dancing. I'll tell you what, those three things. This is Mental Health Monday. I've got to stay on track. But swimming, very important. You want to be able to know how to swim. If you don't know how to swim, it's a great exercise. It's good for you, all that business. But also, I have to do a big face again. Once upon a time, I took a lady on a date. Went on a little date. Went to a gig. And it was by the river. There's a pub by the river. You can see where this is going, can't you? See where this is going. By a river. I live by a river in Stratford upon Avon. It's a lovely little town. There's a river at the Avon. And at the gig, standing room only, watching a gig. Sort of like Tinder didn't exist back then, but it was sort of a, first meet-up sort of setup, like a date thing. So I'm there, standing next to this person, and I said, I'm just going to pop out. Just going to go smoke, because no smoking indoors. So just going to pop out. I'll be back in a minute, so don't worry, I won't be long. And I probably didn't say I was going to go smoking. I probably said I'm just going to go to the toilet. In fact, I'm pretty sure I did, which is why it makes it worse when I went out to the back where the river is, and there was a little boat going in the lock, going through the lock. It's a restaurant boat, and they're doing the pushing the moving the, and I was like, I'll give you a hand with that, because I'm a sprightly, chirpy boy. So I popped over to the narrow boat, pushed the lock thing, and then the lads that worked on it, they went across the lock gate. They walked across it and stepped on the boat and then off and over. So I'm like, yeah, that looks like fun. No, I'm not gonna be trapped on this side. I'm gonna do what I stepped on the boat, stepped over, splush. And splush, my phone, my iPod, that was back in the day, my iPod, my phone, splush. Me, splush. That's bad. I'm soaking wet, I'm in the water. If I didn't know how to swim, that could have been bad. Because I looked up as I was in the water, the boat behind me, I'm in the lock gate thing. I said, can you help me? I'm in the water, because the lads on the shore didn't appear to be helping me out. And he said, I am helping you. Hey, little doggy, barking. He said, I am helping you. And he was pushing with his legs against the boat. He said, I'm helping you. I'm keeping the boat from crushing you against the wall. You need to get out of the water now, because otherwise the boat might crush you against the wall. So, I managed to, it was a weird thing as well. This is a strange part of the story. There was, it appeared to me as I scrambled up the side of this lock gate, a foothold, like a stone, almost projecting out of the wall, like that I could put my foot on and hoist myself up, and I was out. And I got out, soaking wet. I had to go back in the club where the band were playing, and this person who had come to meet me on a sort of blind setup, never met me before date, suggested by their friend, and I went back in and I stood next to them, and I just dripped like this huge puddle, It was big puddle. I was soaking wet, and I'd only said I'd been to the toilet. So I had to say, like, I've been out the back and I've fallen in the river. It's not the toilet. That wasn't the toilet all over me. That's not toilet water. Don't worry. River water's not much better. And I said, do you feel like, how's the band? Are they good? Are they? Because I'm kind of cold. Maybe we should just, we can go, because I'm sorry, but I've fallen in the river. And she was like, no, I quite like the band. Don't really like you, but I quite like the band. So I'm going to watch the band for a bit, and if you want to stay. And I was like, well, I suppose I better stay then, because, I'm technically supposed to be here. So I stayed for a bit. Then when we went to go and get a taxi, and I've tried to get in a taxi, and she shouted at the taxi driver. She went, he's been in the river, so he needs to get home quick. And he was like, don't get in the taxi. Don't get in the taxi because you're soaking wet with river water. So I didn't get a taxi. I had to walk home. She got in the taxi and I paid for it. That's the end of the story. That's a good story, isn't it? About water and being in it. But the moral of the story is, if I didn't have the foothold, if I wasn't able to swim and keep myself afloat, I could have drowned. Swimming's really good. Swimming's a brilliant survival skill that you never know when you'll need it. Good to be knowing how to swim. Thumbs up for swimming. And something else interesting that is absolutely true, is when I went back there a couple of days later, the lock gate that was up because they were taking the boat through, they drained the water to let the boats down, and I went back to have a look at this foothold that I was able to stand on and get out of the water with, and it doesn't exist. It's not there. The gate's flush. The wall's flush. It's just, the wall is smooth. There's no jutting stones. It's just a completely smooth wall. So I put my foot on rock. I felt it underfoot, and it was what prevented me from languishing in the water, what enabled me to get out, and it didn't exist. It wasn't even there. So that's back to the whole web browser. It's got nothing to do with mental health, has it? It's just I said no. I said, didn't I? Didn't I say that we weren't allowed to do any tangents? I said that. No tangents, I said. No tangents. Now, how am I going to edit that into the broadcast? How's that going to look? Okay, so cycling, the next one. I've got all of them. I'm going to pick on all of them. Cycling, again, if you know how to ride a bike, there may come an occasion where someone requires you to jump on one. You may be on a little holiday or doing a little thing, and there's an opportunity to hire one. It might be that you're in London and there's these free ones that you can ride around and throw in the canal. Don't throw them in the canal. So indoor spinning won't get you in my car. That's what I was going to come on to say, right? Cycling, for me, let's go big face. I'm not going to say anything that's going to offend anyone, hopefully. But for me, cycling is incredibly dangerous when you're out on the roads. Around where I live, there's little country roads, driving the old cars, cyclists, whoa. Yeah, it feels incredible. I said to someone once, this is a funny story as well. I was talking to somebody that I didn't really know that well, having a little chat to them. I said to them, I don't trust cyclists. I don't mean it that heavy. But it came out that heavy. It sounded that way. I don't trust cyclists. I meant it worries me when I'm driving and they're on the road and they could just swerve out, and it makes me feel anxious. I don't trust them in that aspect. But I said I don't trust cyclists, and so they went round the back of this building, pulled out their bike, put on their helmet, clipped on their bike shoes, and rode off. And we had a little moment. We had a little moment where they looked at me and I looked at them, and I realised that I just told them I don't trust them. But that didn't go well for our friendship. That didn't start us off on the right foot. I take virtual rides through scenic places on an indoor bike while I stream. That sounds really interesting. We'll have to come and raid your stream. That sounds really interesting, yeah. And I'll tell you what, that sounds much safer as well, doesn't it? Much safer than the roads around my way. Oh, my stream. Oh, I see, you're streaming me. The language. You're streaming me. I am being streamed. I'm not just a stream. I'm a verb. I'm a verb. Web browse. Let's try and keep from the tangent. So cycling is good. I'll tell you why cycling is good though. It's got a green tick, so it is good. But it's one that I worry about. It's swimming, you can also get yourself in dangers and difficulty. Don't just go swimming in any old river. Don't just go swimming off into the sea and just, hope it's not too choppy. Swimming you've got to be careful with as well. Cycling is dangerous on the roads, but when you're kids, when you're younger, cycling is an opportunity to, maybe it's a different world now, maybe it's different, but when I was younger, it was an opportunity to access the next village, to see friends that were a little more distant than walking distance, in a safe and, relatively safe way. Cycling can open the world like that. And you can see a lot of the countryside as well, which is nice. But just be careful that I don't drive past you. Dancing. That's the third one, though. Dancing, on the other hand. Out of these three, and this is why I wanted to 1, 2, 3 like this. So swimming, fantastic survival tool. Learn to swim. It's going to keep you safe. But also, stay safe when you're swimming. Right? Stay safe. Cycling, enjoyable. Exercise. Like Snips has got a good idea there. Do it in your safety if you're in your own home. Don't get knocked off the bike. But enjoyable, good, but has an element of danger. Dancing. Now, dancing does not come with a health warning. So think about that. Dancing doesn't come with a health warning. Dancing you can do anywhere. You can do it in an organised fashion. You can do it with other people. You can do it with lots of people. You can do it on your own. Here's King K. Here's capital K. I bet King K likes a bit of a dance, don't you? But we're all dancing. We're all dancers. Everyone can say thank you and thank you to capital K. I'll reiterate that from time to time. We're doing 5 steps to better mental health. I've forgotten which step this is. Step 2, we're going to be ages. So dancing is accessible to all. It doesn't matter what your style is, what your favourite music is. It doesn't matter whether you only like certain types. It doesn't matter whether you want to dance lying down. Everyone likes a bit of a jig. Everyone likes a dance. It's good for you. It's on the do's list. It's got a tick. So if you get caught, someone sees you dancing, you don't have to stop and be like, oh, whoops, someone saw me down. You can say, hey, why don't you join in? It's good for your mental health. Give it the dance. A couple of dances that I know, the arms of approval, that's when something's good. Arms of approval. Yeah, shaking in the arms of approval, that's a good dance. So other dances are available. Find out about getting started with exercise. That's a tick. Find out about getting started with exercise. You can do that on the old website. But I think we've got enough tips there already. Have a dance. Go for a run. Running. Again, I think Snips has got a good call there with the indoor machine for facilitating the exercise. Because sometimes I don't want to go running around the neighbourhood. But I do want to do some running, maybe. So maybe you can get started with an indoor machine. That might also come with a health warning. I'll tell you what you shouldn't do. This is the Red Cross. Yeah, not the good Red Cross that provide healthcare, but the bad Red Cross that is things you don't want to do. Do not feel you have to spend hours in a gym. It's best to find activities you enjoy and make them part of your life. So assuming that you won't enjoy the gym here. Assuming it for you. I mean, I don't enjoy the gym. I do not enjoy it. Tell you what, I just want to do some big face. Should you have some big face? Capital K. Snips, we've got the big face. Tell you what I enjoy is not feeling pressure to do things in certain ways. Not feeling embarrassed about me shorts. Tell you what I don't like doing. Sweating it out in front of strangers who are like 5 times the size of me, who know the correct technique on every machine, and are more than happy to tell me. I don't like trying to work on muscles that I don't even have yet, and having someone tell me how to do it, and put me on the machine, and like I'm going through some sort of factory mill process. I don't like that. I don't like pushing myself to fitness extremes in public places where everyone around me is not on the same level of fitness extreme. Like if we're doing a run as a group, in fencing training as I used to, at the end of the run we're all tired. Oh, that was a good run. Oh, we all say, and we have a talk. And if you're in the gym, at the end of me being tired, I'm tired. I'm absolutely like, oh. Everyone else is just milling around, just like normal, just like they don't. And like you feel like, oh, just hang on, oh, give me a, oh, and I mean, I suppose they understand what you're going through, but the fact they're not going through it at the same time makes me feel even more embarrassed about staggering round like some sweaty mess. So yeah, I find the gym a source of embarrassment. That's how I feel at the gym, self-conscious. And I guess as well, on top of that, is the fact that the gym is the place where people build this hyper-stylized body in terms of bodybuilding, body image. And I don't even aspire to that, but just being there makes you feel comparatively less than that image. You automatically sort of have this comparison thing going on. So yeah, the gym is not my favourite place either. Yeah. But if you like the gym and it's for you, and I've got some friends who love the gym, that's fine. It's fine. It's not like It's not like I'm saying poo poo your gym. Get down your gym if you enjoy it. My friend Eddie Hall, he loves the gym. Loves it so much he smashed a big hole in it. But yeah, if you like the gym, then the gym's your place, and you're like friends with the people that are at the gym, and you get that. Oh look, I pressed the thing and it changed the chat. I'll have to just. There you go. I have to tune everyone out and ignore everything else. Not been back since COVID. Yeah, interesting. If we go back to the browser there, look, it says you don't have to go back now, even though I don't know what the correct advice is now. I'm getting a bit lost. Don't feel you've got to go to the gym. Find activities you enjoy and make them part of your life. So if you don't enjoy the gym, you don't have to go to the gym. That's cool. That's cool. But if you do enjoy the gym, it's also cool. Okay? So they're both cool. Red Cross. Number 3. Shouldn't keep laughing. I'm not laughing about these things. This is serious mental health, isn't it? It's serious mental health. But we're allowed to have fun with our friends. That's part of it. So what's good. Boosting self-confidence and raising self-esteem can be done by learning new skills. Research shows, I haven't listed the reason, just research shows that learning new skills can also improve your mental well-being by helping you to build a sense of purpose and to connect with others. Well, that's good, isn't it? Because connecting with others is number 1 on the list. So if we can learn new skills and that helps us to connect with others, it's like a double whammy. Building the sense of purpose and self-esteem are things that the first 2, meeting up with others and doing exercise, also help with. So we're snowballing this effect, and that's quite cool. Learning new skills we do together, don't we? We do together here. We learn about art history and how to check your sub count. I don't know how to check my sub count still don't, but it's loads. Don't tell it. It's loads. Yeah, we're learning new skills through stream. Cool. But also going out and connecting with people, learning something new. Maybe we talked about the sporting activities. You don't have to aspire to a world level to go to a boxing. I don't want to suggest. Do I want to suggest boxing? Don't go and punch each other. Don't go hurting each other. Jiu-jitsu. Don't. Careful with the headlock. Just you can learn new things. Archery. Careful with the arrows. Don't. Oi. Stop pointing it at you take your eye out. Don't try not to take each other's eyes out. But we'll edit that. what I'm saying is that, look at that, kapow, kapow. That's a good one, isn't it? That's a good. We've got emojis on the brain. We've got emojis. Got to think about them as well. That's something else to learn a new skill. How to do the old emoticons. Even if you don't have enough time, or you may not need to learn new things, there are lots of different ways to bring learning into your life. So let's have a look at them. Let's have a little look at how you could bring them into your life. Try learning to cook something new. That's cool, isn't it? That's simple. Find out about healthy eating and cooking tips. Big face. Go vegan. Go vegan because you'll learn loads of new things to cook. It's an exciting adventure. It's not about switching off all your other foods and saying, oh, I don't have this and I don't have that. It's about saying, oh, I can have all this wonderful stuff. And I've not been exploring it very much because I've just been eating this other stuff. But now I want to focus on this stuff, this bounty of nature, this wonderful fruits and vegetables and smoothies. And I'm going to start cooking more because I'm not just going to process burger food. I'm going to cook more fresh things. And being vegan is great for that. It's a world of exploration. There's now a huge amount of new foods in the supermarkets, even though I don't believe in the supermarkets as good producers because they kill animals and they got a butcher. But otherwise, there's loads of new products that are out at the moment that are like pointed towards plant-based, pointed towards health. It doesn't have to be about animals, although it's good if it is. It's nice for the animals. But just a little plea, just a little put this one out there, trying to stay calm for true binaural, keep forgetting to do that. But yeah, being vegan is exciting and it's an exploration. You have vegan supermarkets. That's nice. Is that Southern California? Is that way? That sounds nice. A vegan supermarket. I bet if it was run by a real vegan and a real vegan took the money out of it and spent it on nice things, that would be even better. But yeah, like vegan. I've waved that flag now. I've said about it. Let's get back to the old web browser. It's good for you though. It's good for you. It's healthy and it's a world of exploration, something to enjoy learning about. Try taking on a new responsibility at work. Oh, don't do that. Listen to Scotty Harty here. Don't listen to them. At work, they're always trying to get you to take on responsibilities, not unless they're paying you. Don't just volunteer yourself for extra work. No thanks. That's going to be stressful. Don't do that, not at work. Such as you're mentoring a junior staff member. Oh, you could do that. Mentor a junior staff member. Carry my things. Get me a tea. Or improving your presentation skills. I don't know of many places I've worked where I could say to my boss, I'm thinking about improving my mental health by taking on some more responsibility, such as improving my presentation skills. How about I stop doing what I'm supposed to be doing and get on with that? And they just be like, yeah, improve your presentation skills at the job centre, mate, because you're going to be looking for a new one. Work on a DIY project. That's nice. I like that. That sounds better. Unless you work somewhere good, like the hospital or something nice like that. If you work at somewhere tough where they're toughing you out and telling you to do tough work and it's tough, don't volunteer yourself for more. But do your DIY. DIY is loads of fun, even if it goes bad and you have to look at that thing on the wall that you've badly polyfillered. Even if your guitar falls off the wall because the thing that you screwed into the wall didn't stay in the wall and the whole guitar went and now the guitar's... Even if that... Quit smoking, yeah, that's a good one on there. You're ready for the vegan challenge and get your hands in the dirt. Yeah, I agree with that. I like doing the vegetables. I like growing them down the allotment. Chili plants and that. Fix a broken bike, a garden gate, or something bigger. That could be a community project as well. You can get involved in a community project like that. There are lots of free video tutorials online. So that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I do like that. Even if it doesn't work, even if it's not, the time you spend doing the thing will be enjoyable, hopefully. And if you're not enjoying it, again, if it feels like you're applying more list of things to do, pressure on yourself, this is about improving your mental health. So this should be a fun hobby. It shouldn't be like a list of chores. A list of chores. Yeah. Consider signing up for a course at your local college. You could try learning a new language or a practical skill such as plumbing. That would be good, wouldn't it? We could all benefit from knowing how to fix a ball cock, couldn't we? Try new hobbies that challenge you, such as writing a blog, taking up a new sport, or learning to paint. That's a good general. That's nice. I like that one at the end because it's much more general. Whatever it is for you, whatever your passion is, I'm sure there's something that you've been putting off. We'll go big face. We'll have a big face. I've wanted to make stained glass windows for such a long time now. Such a long time. I think there's an opportunity to create some lovely visual art there. Beautiful glass, simple shapes. It's a skill, it's an art, it's a craft, but also the art of what you choose to immortalise in glass. Immortalise, because it's not going to be forever, it's going to be for longer than me, these things. And coming out of COVID, I think there's an opportunity there, not in a religious context, not in a church window sort of way, but more in a sort of personal context. Maybe we could make some interesting pieces to commemorate some people. Stained glass, I wanted to do that. It would require a little bit of learning, a new hobby, maybe a bit of technical kit, some glass. I'm going to need some glass, but that's fine because all the houses around here are full of it. They've got loads of windows, and if I'm going to be doing it in shapes, it doesn't even have to be one pane, does it? So I'll just go around with a hammer and smash all the glass out of all the windows in the neighbours' houses, and they've got it double paned, isn't it? It's double what do they call it? Double glazing. So I don't have to do the inner pane. I'll just do the outer pane, and free glass, basically, isn't it? And they won't mind because they've still got the inside window. They probably won't notice. I'll do it at night, so it won't bother them. But yeah, coloured sand a big kit. It could be expensive. Could be an expensive hobby, but I haven't done it yet because maybe that's one of the reasons, because it's expensive. But also, it seems like a big thing. But it's just an idea, isn't it? It's just something that I'm putting out. That's on my list of things to learn to do. I want to kind of do that one day. But you must have your own stained glass project in your life, mustn't you? And if you don't, fine, you don't have to. It's okay. But I'm pretty sure that most of us over the course of our lives have looked at some art project or something somebody's been doing, whether it be a sport or cooking or something, and said, "Oh, I'd like to be able to do that one day. I'd like to have a crack at that." Something in the back of your mind. Over the COVID, garden stones, my glass project. Sounds nice. Garden stones. I like collecting rocks as well. I'm sure over COVID people might have had a crack at some of these things, but it's telling us here, web browser, try new hobbies that challenge you, such as writing a blog, taking up a new sport, or learning to paint. So your stained glass thing might be one of these things. It's telling us for our mental health, it's good to do it. So we've been putting it off. We've been iffing and erring over it. But for our mental health, it's good to do it. Maybe my stained glass suggestion is not so good because I can see a future where I'm equally stressed by the multiple pieces of broken glass stuck in my face as I am at this current moment not doing stained glass at all. So maybe gardening, garden stones, maybe something a little less potential to send me to the A&E. But yeah, a new thing. I'll tell you what about writing as well. Writing a blog. Writing a diary is good. I don't do it. But it's easy because it's about things that happen to you. It's just simple, isn't it? But in years to come, you might look back on it and take something out of it, have some value in it. And it might be valuable to you if you're on a mental health journey of progression, of improvement, of feeling better. It might be helpful to note down how you feel and look back on it and see how things are changing. Writing a blog, taking up a new sport, or learning to paint. Tell you what you shouldn't do. Got a big red cross for this one. What you shouldn't do, and don't go looking down the list. Don't go down the list. Stick with me here. I'm doing the reading. Don't feel you have to learn new qualifications or sit exams if this does not interest you. It's best to find activities you enjoy and make them a part of your life. And that's interesting because I guess a lot of us feel that evening course, that night school, that extra hobby, that it might be sensible to do that qualification that they need for work, or that forklift driver's certificate so you can drive that thing at maybe get another step up the ladder, or take that IT course at night school because it's going to help with your CV, or these sort of things. What it's saying here is, don't do this thing, this added project, this new hobby. Don't do that because you need an exam certificate for something that you're not really, it's just for your work, or it's just for the benefit of, I guess, increased financial yield or something. They're saying don't do that. Maybe you should. Maybe you should. Maybe you feel better doing that. But it's saying to do something that you enjoy, just purely because you enjoy it. So when you're thinking about this new hobby, this new thing you're going to learn and do, it might be worth questioning. Am I doing this because I just want to? Do I think it's got some added value? Is it going to benefit me in some other way? Am I doing it because I think I should know how to do this, learn to drive, learn to swim? Am I doing it because I just want to learn to paint or sing? Yeah, interesting. Number 4, give to others. Where you Kevin's got you covered. Kelvin. Oh, don't get his name wrong. Jesus, Kelvin's got you covered. So he's done that. He should feel happy. You don't get to feel happy, Kelvin. You can still do cheering. Look, Just Call Me Snips has got a diamond, so I'm trying to click the window and it's not. There's the window. Look at that. There's your diamonds. So you can. However that works, you can give on stream here to me to make yourself feel happy. So what this is saying, and I'm just going to skim by this very quickly, is it's saying give me money and that will make you happy. There we go, job done. And Kelvin agrees. He said it up there. So that's number 4. Number 5. No, number 4 isn't just that, of course. We'll spend a bit more time on number 4. Number 4 says subscribe to my Patreon as well. That's what it says. Okay. Research suggests that acts of giving and kindness can help improve your mental well-being by creating positive feelings, a sense of reward. It's interesting, isn't it, that's interesting. Look, there's something happening in the chat, and it means something. I think it's like what I was just talking about I think this is fine. I mean, I'll be brutally honest here. I think this is financially beneficial to me, to us on stream, which we're going to use to push the stream forward. So that's good. So I think that's what that is. But I'm not certain because I don't know. So it's diamond, it's bits there, bits, little diamonds. They've been cheered. I'll switch to the cheers so you can see that. They've been cheered. And that creates a positive feeling and a sense of reward. And what's weird, I was going to alight on this, is that it creates a sense of reward for the person doing the giving. Huh? What the? I thought you were supposed to take the things, and that's what the reward. No, it's the giving makes you feel the reward. So, and I'm an advocate for this, of course, on stream, aren't I? We talk about this a lot, about sharing and not needing to have a lot in order to share. If I've got these are my bits now, these are my bits. But if you need some bits, okay, and I can give you half of my bits if you need them. I'll still have some bits at the end of it, so I'll be okay. If you need some bits, you can have some as well. That's how I see it. And if I only got one fake beer, you can have a half a fake beer. I can have a half a fake beer. We each got a half a fake beer. If I've got 10 fake beers, you can have 5. It's not a problem. You can purchase bits to cheer on your face. Okay, cheering on me now. Cheering, which I'm going to encourage. I'm going to encourage, aren't I? I'm going to encourage that. A hype train is... I'm going to have to stop looking at this because it confuses the F out of me. Hype train. We don't need hype trains on calm, relaxing mental health, do we? It's supposed to be calm. Can't we have like a hype parachute? Gentle hype rubber dinghy rapids. Not rapids. Rubber dinghy... you know when you go to the theme park and there's all the rides? We're going to have to go big face. You know when you go in the theme park and there's all the rides, there's all the fast rides. Okay, so when I was a kid, my parents took me to Alton Towers. They took my sister as well. We were little kids, so we were only interested in like the teacups and the little things like that. The hooker duck. That's not vegan. So only interested, only kids. And there was this one called the Black Hole. So my mum thought the black hole is like a planetarium. It's all the stars. You see all the universe. Go on a little ride and learn something. So I went up to the black hole. Can we go on? And they said, well, you can't take the kids on. And my mum said, don't be silly. Don't be silly. Of course we want to take the kids on. You know, thinking the black hole, the universe, the stars. Why wouldn't we do that? That's for the kids. And said, okay, fair enough. I was only little. I remember the argument a little bit. But he said, well, if you can't, they can't sit on their own, but they can be strapped to you, I suppose. So my dad had to come on as well. And I think my sister was strapped to my dad. They sat in the seat, my sister, and then the chung thing go over the front. And I had my mum, and the chung thing go over then. And then off, chuk we went. And I thought, well, hello, this is a bit ominous, isn't it? It's a bit dark for a start. A bit dark and what's happening here? Why am I strapped to me mum? Where's all the stars? Where's the nice music? And so what the black hole was the world's first indoor pitch black roller coaster. So extra turns, extra drops where you don't expect them. And of course pitch black. So you're flying around in the pitch black, strapped to your parents because you're too small to ride this ride. And that was only just made infinitely more unbearable by my mother's constant screaming. Constant screaming. Ah! Ah! Because it was unexpected, of course. So, constant screaming. And they take a little photograph. There's a point in the ride where it stops. You're pointing downwards and it stops. And then the light comes on. They take your photograph. And when this happened, I think my mum thought it had broken and that we were going to die. So the screaming intensified further. And we've got the photograph somewhere. I'll have to try and dig it out of, the ride. People are doing that, ready for their photograph. Hey, are you ready for your photograph? Oh, on the dark roller coaster. And there's just me and trauma, going through a childhood trauma. That moment captured on celluloid. Yeah, so that happened. The black hole. We went on the black hole as a kid. I've got no idea what that has to do with anything. I don't know why I started talking about it, and I don't know how it relates to giving to others and creating a feeling of self-worth, connecting to other people. I don't know how it relates to the hype. Oh, it's the hype train. It's the hype train. So we don't want a hype train, do we? Let's go big face again. We don't want to. We want to hype something relaxing. We don't want a black hole of hype. These numbers now. I don't know if that even means now, but good on you with your numbers. Good on you with your pictures and your and the black hole. We want the opposite of that. That's what we want. A planetarium. Don't we want a hype planetarium where it's just gentle. It's just slow. So I was saying, yeah, that's it. You go to these amusement worlds, and there's fast. They're going woo, rubber dinghy rapids. The splash. But what we want, we're onto the teacups, aren't we? We're on the teacups. We want the lazy river. That's the one they have, isn't it? The lazy river. You know when you go in the water park and there's that slide and you can go right high up and it drop you off like jumping off a building. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I just want lazy river. Let's have a lazy river. Okay? What's this now? What's this now? That's loads. 1,000. That's loads. I've got no idea about how it translates to real world finance, but 1,000 is a lot of anything. So thank you. Yeah, hype lazy river, but be quiet about the hype. Just hype brackets lazy, open brackets hype, close brackets river. Go and did 1,000 times 11 earlier. 11. It's $1 per bit. I'm telling you what, it can't be $1 per bit. It can't be. It can't be. It simply cannot be. I know you're having me on with that. I think it must be in the smaller integers. A cent. I don't even know. You see, now there we go. I know there's 50 of them. You get 50 of them in a wrapper, don't you? In a club during your birthday. That's what you get with 50 cents. But I don't know how. I don't even know how many there are. It must be decimal, mustn't it? You must have a decimal system in America. Well, no, you don't, because you're empirical, aren't you? Use the empire's own measurements of non-metric sign. No, this is getting us way. This is getting us way off course, isn't it? I will thank you for your incredible. Look at that! It's up there at the top, 11,000. I see. I'll thank you for your incredible contributions, and as I say, I feel a certain sense of responsibility that we're going to use this to improve the work we do here. That's the main driving force of this. It's going to enable us to improve what we do. That's why I'm so thankful, and everyone else should be thankful too. Not going to be buying a solid gold hat, I promise. I'm not going to buy a solid gold hat, I promise. Let's go on Amazon and have a look for solid gold hats. Web browser. It's solid gold hats. Shit. I swore. Hello in Italy. Hello. And may I say, buono. I can't say anything. I'm not very good. Col tempo di gelso la foglia diventa setta. Yeah. Hello in Italy. I probably said that wrong, but it's supposed to be an Italian saying. I've been to Italy a few times. I love Italy. It's a lovely place. I've been to Rome, an incredible city. Just you look around and there's just stuff to look at. And people are like, "Can you move? Because I'm busy going to work." And you're like, "Yeah, but hang on, mate. You go to work in this lovely place, so let me just look." And they're like, "But you're in the doorway. I need to get in." And you're like, "Yeah, but it's got this lovely architecture, and it's got a lovely." And they're like, "I'm going to work. Can you just go?" On the bus in Italy as well, I rode the bus around and been on the subways. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't have a story about it. Just telling you I've done it. Been on the bus, like the locals, on the bus. I'm confused. And it's good to have new people in chat. I will encourage you to thank Capital K for your subscription, your gifted subscription. Thank you. The bus in Rome is wild. It was interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. I got on big face then. Big face. So once upon a time, I was in Italy and I was staying with a friend. And I said, "I want to have a coffee in the morning." And they said, "That's fine. We'll go down the coffee shop." And I said, What do you mean?" I said, "Because we live in Rome. So we're not messing about with our own coffee machine here. We just go, there's just down there. It's literally out. There's one on every, coffees. Pro and the little to be honest, to be fair, this little coffee shop, just like your little news agents, just around, your little local shop. In their little local shop, they had a proper coffee, proper They had that going on, and they not only had that, but they had a little kitchen, and they were doing homemade bread, homemade things. It was wonderful. I just not only to just buy your cigarettes and your newspaper and your just homemade foods and real coffee. It was wonderful, yeah. So I said that is good. That's lovely. However, I don't want to have to put my clothes on and go down in the public. I want to stay in the little apartment in my underpants and drink my coffee on the little balcony in the morning. So I'm just going to pop to the supermarket and get some instant. I know it's sacrilege. In Italy, you don't drink instant coffee out of a jar with a one spoon in the. What are you playing at? So much to is the case that my host, who was Italian, they were baffled by this instant coffee in a jar. They'd never even used it before. Never used it. So in the morning, they made me a cup of coffee. Nice spoon of coffee. And I said, how much do you want in the... I said, just use one spoon. Because you just use one teaspoon and you just one spoon of coffee. Fine. Drinking this... Oh, it's strong. And I thought, this Italian coffee, it's not like the coffee I'm used to. This Italian stuff is... Oh, it's strong. Oh, that Italian coffee. I shouldn't adjust the mic while we're talking, but I just noticed when touched into the red. I don't want it going in the red. Keep it in the green. I thought this Italian coffee's really strong. I finish it out on the balcony. Got to quit smoking, but my little cigarette out on the balcony. And I was drinking my coffee. Had it nice. Clothes on. Downstairs. Past the coffee shop on the way, and I thought, a little espresso. Should I have a little espresso maybe on the way? A little bit of, fresh stuff. I know too much coffee, isn't it? It sounds silly, but on the bus, I thought I was gonna. It's like, my heart was going. Oh, the coffee. Oh, and I was like, this coffee is so strong in Italy. I was like, it's so strong in Italy. And she said, well, I thought a tablespoon was a lot. And I was like, what? My friend said to me, I'd put a tablespoon of coffee in. They'd use the big spoon. I haven't quit smoking. I should quit smoking. But, there's things that you should do and there's things that you are doing. And we're talking about my story and we're not telling me off. No. She put a whole big spoon, my friend. So I don't know if you've ever eaten a big spoon of coffee out of a jar, but it's an incredible amount of caffeine to take in one go. And then when you top it off with a quick espresso on the way through, by the time you get off the bus, you're a jiffering mess, like a quivering, jiffering mess. And then I had to go around the art galleries like, that's a nice Van Gogh. Is that Michelangelo did that? Oh, could I have some bread to soak up the caffeine? Web browsing. Give to others. Find yourself a sense of reward in small acts of kindness towards other people, or larger ones like volunteering in your local community. That is excellent. I absolutely advocate for volunteering in your local community. It can be difficult volunteering. There's lots of other avenues. There's charities, there's animal charities, there's animals that need a help, that need a home. That's a form of volunteering. There's lots of different ways to volunteer. We're talking about connecting with people, though. So in your community is good. But I will, put a little point here. Be safe. Go with big groups, established groups. Don't just meet someone off Facebook and it might be good to start your own group, but be safe when you're meeting people. Volunteering in the community as well. Be aware that it's a group community thing, so maybe some of your ideas might not be the ideas. Maybe you don't get utilised in the way you'd hoped. Maybe you get asked to do things you didn't really want to be volunteering for. So be careful in that aspect as well. We're talking about making sure that you're happy and making sure that you're feeling a positive mental benefit from your actions. So giving time to others, yes, but don't allow yourself to become a mule for other people's burdens in terms of community projects, because there's always a lot of work to be done. And when you volunteer, as good as it is and as wonderful it is that you want to do this work, there's an infinite amount. So if you keep opening your knapsack, people will keep shoveling heavy things into it. So be prepared to say, this is where I feel I can help, and this is where I draw the line. Some examples of the things you could try include saying thank you to someone for something they've done for you. Well, that's incredible. That's incredible. I say thank you to you here now directly, but I think this means more than that. I think this means showing people how thankful you are by doing kind things for them. Big face this a little bit. I think this is important. I haven't thought about this before, so I'm just going to yabble. I think paying attention to people, listening to them, allows you to understand them better. Asking them questions about how they feel and how they think helps you to understand them better. And through that process, it might be that if you take a few mental notes, maybe you note it down in your phone if it's not something that, if remembering things isn't your forte. I find that I pick up little things, like when someone happens to mention, I like that salted caramel ice cream or something. It goes in my little memory bank, vegan ice cream, of course. And later on, when there's an opportunity to thank someone or do something for someone, you've got a little thing there. They like this. They're a fan of that. And then when you do that little thing, you buy them the ice cream, or Capital King Case bought all of your subs for you. When you do these little things, it shows them that you care about them in a different way to just, I bought you a token item because I'm saying thank you. It's not just, here is the standard social thank you. It's, here is my thank you with my little bit of you and the things that I think about you, and which is our thing. There it is together. And so it means so much more because you've thought about it, because it's come from a place of emotion and feeling and connection, and it strengthens connections. Often, one of my favourite gifts that I've ever given, actually, because we're talking about Italy again, to my friend in Italy, when I visited, I knew they like music boxes. So I found on the internet, I found a music box that played The Godfather. So I didn't realise that in Italy, The Godfather wasn't the most popular film about Italian culture. But it is. It's got a music box and it plays The Godfather. That's like, they're Italian. I'm visiting. They like music boxes. It's just perfect. In my mind, that was perfect. Now, in their mind, it might not have been. But I guarantee you this. They haven't thrown that away. They've got that with their other music boxes that they collect. And it means something about my visit, the time we spent. It's there. It's more than just a random, little card or a packet of biscuits. Unless they really like biscuits. So yeah, personalising your gifts and taking time to talk to people and to think about what they like. I guess the way I'm responding to these cheers and these giftings to us, the stream, is I'm going to use that to tailor the stream to what you like. So that should be good. Let's go big face. We've done big face browsing. But saying thank you to someone for something they've done for you, it could be big, it could be little. You don't have to think about, like, this person might like mountaineering. You don't have to bring them a mountain. It could be something small, but something small, something personal. I'm sure we've all got someone that we could say thank you to. And even if it comes out of the blue, even if it's something they did 6 months ago that you still think, oh, that was good, that was helpful. They didn't have to do that. They really helped there. It always is welcome, saying thank you to people. Asking friends, family or colleagues how they are and really listening to their answer. It's nice that, isn't it? It's nice. It's nice they put that there. It's not it's not something we should take lightly, is it? It's not something. It's something we do all the time. Are you all right? How's it going? You've got a sketch on. Are you all right? I can see you looking a bit wobbly here. Do you need to sit down? We talk to our friends and ask them how they are all the time, but really listening to their answer, really paying attention, because 80% of the time they're going to go, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. 80% of the time they might say that. That's not a real statistic. I made that up. But they might say, I'm fine. But really listening, paying attention, noticing the cues, the tells, the little signs, really listening to their answer in those terms as well. Not just the things they say, the way they say them, but of course, listening to the things they say. It can really help if you want to show people that you've understood what they're saying. Quite often in a conversation, especially when someone's talking through something personal to them, a problem, they might not want you to offer solutions all the time. Sounds weird to say that, doesn't it? Why don't they want me to help when they've got a problem and I can give them a solution? Because the talking about the problem, it's about them working through their feelings. So how do I say this? I'm feeling down today. If I said that, the correct, we've seen today in the broadcast that a good answer would be do some exercise. If you feel down, exercise is good for you. So when someone comes, I'm feeling down today, if you hear that, listen to it and just say, right, do some exercise. There's a solution, there's a fix. That's not exactly what they're asking of you when they're telling you this thing. It might help, but quite often what they're trying to do is explore their feelings. They might say, after a bit of conversation, I feel down today, and at the end of it, they might end up deciding to do some exercise, but you telling them to do it, prescribing it, isn't what they need to make themselves feel better. I'm getting a bit confusing here. If they say, I feel down today, a good way for me to respond might be, so you feel under the weather, because I'm trying to paraphrase what they've said, I'm trying to say back to them what they've said to me. And in doing so, I'm trying to qualify it, to make more clarity, to show them that I've understood, or to give them space to explain it further if I've not understood. Is it just you feel down today, or is it something deeper? Do you feel upset over this thing that happened, or are you stressed about that? not trying to make you feel unstressed and worried. Just, these are examples. It then gives them space to talk about what they want to talk about, to unburden themselves through talking it through. And all the while along, you can give them this feedback, this positive feedback. Yeah, I understand. Okay, I see what you mean. Not just randomly, when you understand and when you see what they mean. And if not, you can say, so you're saying that this thing is dragging you down, so this thing seems like a big problem that you can't face. You can work things out together about how they feel, and that process, at the end of it, you've not given them a list of 5 things they can fix like we're doing today. You've allowed them to speak about their feelings, and you've learned about their feelings, they've learned about their feelings, and then together you might start looking at things that you could fix. But they didn't come to you to say, can you give me some advice on how to fix my down? They came to you to say, I've got this feeling and I need to express it. So just a bit of it's talking about really listening to the answer from your friends and colleagues. That's what it's talking about. So just a bit of listening, active listening, I think they call it sometimes. I don't know. Empathy. It's about empathy. And a really good way to make sure you're doing this is you start your sentences with you. So someone comes to me, I feel down. If I start with, I know what it feels like to feel down. I felt down yesterday. Then I'm talking about me. It's no help to them who, in their feelings, is now listening to you and your feelings. But it might be the same feelings, but that's not what they've come to you for, to hear you telling them about how you feel the same things. What they've asked as we discussed, is for some space to discuss their feelings and to feel that you understand their feelings. So start with you. I feel down. You feel down. You've been depressed for a long time. Just starting with you allows you access into the conversation on their terms. It gives them space to explore. It gives you questions that you can ask to help that facilitate it happening. And all the while along, it's not a clever psychological ploy. You don't have to be some clever, educated doctor to do this listening thing. Just start your sentences with you. Just use the word you more than you use the word I. And when you catch yourself saying, well, I, just pause and say, sorry, what were you saying? That's how that works. It's good. And it's good for your mental health. It's good. It's good for your mental health. Remember this. These are examples of things that you could do to improve your mental health. Thanking people, asking friends and family how they really are. And it might seem like we're doing it for them. And honestly, I've come to this to do this for you. Ironic that I'm now learning that this is going to help me. So yeah, good on you. Thank you very much. I'm going to take that. I'm going to run with that. I like that. I like it. It's not about me. But I do. I like it. It's going to help. Spending time with friends or relatives who need support or company. We talked about that before on a different one of these. So I'm going to say good for that. But where's all the green ticks? Look, we got the green ticks before. Do, don't. This one, give to others. No green ticks. No green ticks. You have to imagine your own green ticks. Just going to move you around chat just to make sure that it's not broken. It doesn't appear to be broken, does it? It seems to be working. Yep. Volunteering in your community, such as helping at a school, hospital or care home. Well, we've covered that as well, you cheeky. Repeating yourself. Pay attention to the present moment. Mindfulness. We'll cover this at the end now, a little bit. But I will say that whilst mind, I wanted to see the one in mind here, 5. Mind also offers a different 5 ways to well-being. Mind are a mental health resource that you can find on the internet. I'm going to briefly gloss over this one. Connect, we talked about. Be active, we talked about. Take notice, that's mindfulness. Learn, we kind of talked about. And give, we talked about. So similar options, something different in each of these categories, slightly different way of looking at it, but available on Mind. They're a good charity. You can actually volunteer to work with Mind as well. They need people to talk to other people who are in crisis. It's just worth thinking about. And mindfulness is the final chapter here. Pay more attention to the present moment. It can improve your mental well-being. This includes your thoughts and feelings, your body and the world around you. Some people call this awareness mindfulness. Mindfulness can help you enjoy life more and understand yourself better. It can positively change the way you feel about life and how you approach challenges. Read more about mindfulness, including steps you can take to be more mindful in your everyday life. There. And we're not going to click that. You can. I'm not. Because my little puckos. For the edit, I'll just sign this off and then I'll carry on talking to the puckos. We'll go big face. Thank you very much. If you've enjoyed this, then I'm supposed to be calling you to action of some description. But just take your time. Take your time. These things don't happen quickly. They don't happen overnight. The fact that you're looking through this, the fact that you're engaging with this sort of material shows your willingness to push forward in your life. It gives you an opportunity to go for something, to challenge yourself, to develop and to progress. So this is fantastic. You've already come a long way. Don't push yourself too hard. Don't try and climb mountains or run before you can walk. Although running is good, we've learned that. But you're doing good. You're doing good. And we're here together to ensure that you've always got somewhere that you know you can come, you can talk, you can be part of this every Monday, Mental Health Monday. You can be part of it on True Binaural through the comments there, and through our work on Twitch. We're going to be doing more interesting things in the future, and thank you for being part of it. You be good, my little podcast. You be good. So that's cut for the... That's for the quiet people. And now I can just close my chat and pop it out again just to make sure that it's working. Pop, yeah. Blimey, we've done an hour and 45 minutes, so it's not just for the quiet people, that's for everyone, mate. No, it's all working, they're good. Good. I did, again, today I was going to do a little more. I was going to have a look at some other ideas on Mind's website. We were going to look at stress busters, but we can save that for next time, can't we? We can save that for next time. Blimey, the time just whips away. I need to go and eat something. And I need to go and call up my bank and tell them they're going to be receiving their monies in bits from now on. I think you need to do that, don't you? Do you need to tell the bank they're going to have to work in bits? Are bits parts of bitcoins? Are they parts of bitcoins? Can you get a part of a bitcoin? Can you? I've got some Dogecoins. I've got a wallet of Dogecoins, and my oh my! I when it was crypto fever a couple of years ago, my friend was doing the old Bitcoin thing. I used to cut a lad's hair. I'd love to get in touch with him now and find out. When I was back hairdressing, this was 10 years ago, I used to cut this lad's hair, and he was telling me I'm going to be in Bitcoin. He was at school, and he said, I'm not going to go to university. I'm going to spend all the money that I would have spent on university on Bitcoin, and I'm going to save up every penny I get from my Saturday job and from this job, and I'm going to buy Bitcoin. And I was like, good on you, lad. It sounds interesting. And I didn't have the impetus myself to do it. I was busy cutting hair. I wonder where he is now. Probably very wealthy. But what I did was I bought some Dogecoin, because I'm not Elon Musk, am I? I'm not Elon Musk. Bought some Dogecoin. And it was a relatively large amount of money for me to spend. Relatively large. I think you can buy a Tesla with your Doges in big. I think you can. I think that's what it is, isn't it? I think that's what this is. This is money of the future that I'll be able to spend on Mars if I'm lucky. And yeah, so the Dogecoin, I put it in a little wallet, a computer wallet. Got that, and it went massive, didn't it? My little, because I bought mine at 0.001p, 0.001p, and then it went massive. But while it was going massive, I didn't have the facility. I couldn't get it out of my wallet and into my bank. I couldn't get that into money. I just got valuable Dogecoin, and then it went down a bit. So now they're not as valuable, but they're still worth some money now. That more than they were. I mean, we're talking hundreds of pounds here. We're not talking thousands. My initial investment was like under £50. So we're not talking, billions. But they're in this Doge wallet now. After some function, the Doge wallet will now work. It will work. So I can put the Doge coins out of the wallet, but the bank don't want them. The bank's not interested. They're like, you can't spend your Doge coins at our bank. So they're in there. I can't get them into the real money world. I can't buy anything. Tell you what, Elon Musk's getting... I'll show you something on the web browser today that has made me cross. I'm not going to get cross, but we're going to talk about Elon Musk for a second. We've got to look at this. It's in the BBC News. Let me just search it. This one. Top stories. Let's do BBC. Sorry, you're looking at my face while I'm browsing. Right. We've got two stories to look at here. Let's go web browser. This is Elon Musk and his operation. Elon Musk unveils a pig with a chip in its brain. There's a pig. I'm not going to play the video. The pig's got a chip in its brain. Like, not a chip like you eat, like a potato chip, but an electronic chip that they drilled into his brain and put in. And that was so successful that now we've got a monkey. This monkey's drinking some banana smoothie whilst playing Pong on a computer. But he's also got two chips in his brain. Two of them drilled in. popped in the old brain. I've got no chips in my brain. I've got a choice about it. So Elon Musk, for all of his money that he's got, still doing that to the animals. Like, oh, days. I'm not going to get heavy and like, oh, da, 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 da. But they're all celebrating the successful progression of Neuralink. Isn't it good they can play Pong? The monkey doesn't want to play Pong. The monkey doesn't want to play Pong. He doesn't want to have something drilled in its brain. And we don't get to see all the unsuccessful operations, the ones where they drilled the monkey brain and the monkey was just dead. You know, I don't know how many times that happened because they won't tell us. It might be that it never happened. It might be that it happened a lot. But it can't happen if we don't experiment on monkeys, can it? If we don't take the pigs and drill their brains, then we can't have any accidental pig deaths. And to be honest, a pig would be happier without the drilling in the brain. So Neuralink is pushing ahead. Switch to the old web browser there. You can see that there. Look, Neuralink. It's got the old Neuralink. It says it's Neuralink there, doesn't it? This is the BBC. Elon Musk. There's first line. Neuralink, Elon Musk. They're pushing ahead with animal testing for their product. It's quite horrific, isn't it? It's not like, I mean, all animal testing is horrific. All of it is. Most of it has been excessively horrific. One of the worst things about animal testing is that they kill the animals at the end to check what happened to them. Even if they get through the tests, even if they get the drugs and the smoke and the whatever it is they're testing on them, even if that goes well, they murder them and then do an autopsy to find out if anything else had gone wrong in their body through the, they want to find out all the information, so they do that through an autopsy. But with Elon Musk, what's worst about it, I know they're experimenting on brains, aren't they? So you're going to think you're going to need to experiment on some living brains, and I can see why they might think a monkey brain would be a good choice. But I personally, and this might just be me, you can tell me if I'm wrong here, but personally I think it might be better to not do it on animals that are innocent and have no choice, but maybe do it on people that are either not innocent or do have a choice. And if you're Elon Musk and you've got all that money, people do a lot of things for money, don't they? I'm sure there's a lot of people who'd be willing to, let you drill in their brain and put a chip in for a certain amount of money. I think that's fair, isn't it? That's the economy. I think that's supply and demand. I think that's how things work, isn't it? And if you've got a choice, you can be part of it, and if not, you don't have to. So you can still have your brains, Elon, and you can spend a little bit of your money to get them. That's all it would take. The other option is to lobby the government to allow you to test on the criminals. Now, it's careful, dicey here. It's dicey because if you're testing on a criminal, the criminal justice system isn't perfect, and there are people that are in the criminal justice system that might be innocent. So you might be testing on, but maybe they could choose again. Maybe they could choose. Maybe instead of this 25-year sentence, I might do 20 years and 5 years of Elon Musk's brain program. Maybe that's their choice. Maybe they can have a choice. Maybe the bad people, maybe they could volunteer, you see. Maybe the really bad people, and again, far be it from me to, I've seen people debating what's bad and good on Twitch, ethics and politics and all that. So far be it from me to enter into an ethical political debate here. But, the bad people who have done the murders, or the bad people who have done the other bad things that are bad, that I'm sure we can all, we've all got our favourite bad things that we don't like the people who do them. There are bad people out there, and there are bad people in the prison. We've got them. We've confirmed they're naughty. We've seen the naughty evidence. They've got the video of them being naughty. They've done the naughty things. They're in the prison, and we're looking after them now for a long time while they live in the prison. So maybe maybe again, this is complex. So I'm not saying, tell me off for being wrong. But what I am saying is that maybe there's an option. Maybe there are other brains that Elon Musk can test on. That other people that he can drill, people, that he can drill chips into their head, and they can play Pong. Maybe they prefer it. Maybe it'd be all right for them. But that monkey, I'll tell you something for a fact. That fella, he don't know nothing about having his brain drilled. And whilst he might enjoy the smoothie, and operating Pong is giving him infinite banana smoothie, that monkey's better off in the wild. Just being a monkey in the wild. That's the wrong one. Went to the wrong one. Okay, here we are. So yeah, if you ask me, Have I somehow knocked my thing out of sync? Looks like I'm all out of sync now. No, it's not too bad. If you ask me, then animal testing is wrong, is bad. Certainly, I mean, I've had a vaccine that I think has been tested on animals. So there are certain situations where the future of humanity might be beneficial to test on certain small batch animals in favour of large groups of animals, humans, not dying in droves. Okay, it's complex again, it's complex. But I think if you just skip the animal test, because what can you really learn by killing a cat? What really about human anatomy can you really learn by killing a cat? Maybe we don't need it anymore. Maybe we've got other options. Maybe, and this is a mad idea, mad on Mental Health Monday, using the phrase mad as a naughty Scot. This is an out there idea, I know, this is an out there idea. But if you weren't allowed to test on animals, would we not have drugs? Would we not have Neuralink? Would we not have products? Would we not have perfume? Would we not have makeup? No, we'd still have it. It's just it would be more expensive to test it on humans. And that'd be it, isn't it? That'd be it. You'd have a different testing program, like I said, the criminals testing program, the volunteers testing program, the people who would rather have more money and risk their health testing program, because a lot of jobs ask you to risk your health for money. So it could just be a job, couldn't it? So you could have that, and you wouldn't have to kill all the animals and make them suffer. And it must be brutal, mustn't it? It must be brutal. We can ask Carl Sagan, not Carl Sagan the physicist, but the one who plays Mario. He's got a degree in biology and did some animal testing. We don't have to talk about a streamer that did it, but I'm sure we can find out more about these. I'm not an expert. I'm not that educated. I've not ever done any animal testing, so I'm sure we could interview some people and talk to them about what it's like to actually do it. But personally, I feel like it would be really brutal, and I really feel like personally it would make me sick and not want to do it. So it might be nice for the people who have to do it for a job, who are making these drugs, who are doing this Neuralink. It might be nice for them to not have to do that. Mind you, they might like that. They might be able to go home and say, I had a good day at work today. Drilled this bloke's brain and put a chip in it, and he was playing Pong on the internet. And I don't have to feel bad about it. Instead of going home saying, I had a bad day at work today because I did this horrible abuse to all these animals and now I feel bad. I mean, maybe they don't feel bad. I don't know. But that's today's Elon Musk update. Elon Musk's update, isn't it? Neuralink. That's our Elon Musk update for the day. Neuralink is going ahead, and I've got another point to make about Neuralink while we're talking about it. A lot of money being thrown into it, but my brain doesn't interface with the computer very quickly, does it? The quickest interface I have with you is my talking. That's what we're good at. You can hear my words, I talk them at you. Some people can't use that interface. They use other written sign language. So we have fast communication between brains. It's probably about as fast as you can go. And if I was plugged into a computer, I'm not a coder. I haven't learned JavaScript or anything like that. So it can pump information into my brain, but I'm not going to be able to I predict, I might be wrong, I'm just a layperson, but I predict whilst the monkey can move the Pong, and whilst we might be able to use our brain waves to manipulate objects, digitally, that's going to be capable. The same as I can with my mouse. So I don't need my brain drilled because I've got a mouse. And the same as I can with eye tracking technology or other things. There will be disabled people who this might be really beneficial to, so I'm not poo-pooing it completely. I see that. But I just question whether the two-way interface is going to work, because computers don't work. Like the language they speak, the information they use, the way bits and data is assembled is not the same as the way my brain works. The biological processes, the chemical reactions, and I'm pretty sure you can stimulate my brain with electrical impulses, and that's going to make me feel things and think certain things in certain ways, or not feel things and not think things in certain ways. But our brains are very plastic and capable of taking on, like, we never imagined we'd drive around at 80 miles an hour, did we? But suddenly we can do it, and our brains can handle it. But I think they're overestimating how easy it's going to be to create a two-way interface between computers and brains. And I think that we already have very fast interfaces that push the limits of how fast can you talk? How much information? If I spoke at you, if you watch this on twice speed, 4 times speed, can you take that in? Are you going to be able to understand it? Information doesn't just bang into your brain and it's there. You're not just going to put a plug in on and then I know this now. The information is going to come to you through the computer at an incredibly high speed, and your brain is going to somehow assimilate it. I'm not buying it. I don't believe it. I just don't think so. I think that we didn't the saying about evolving and becoming cyborgs, I don't think that we humans have evolved as quickly as our technology has, and the evolution we've been doing in the last 800, 2,000, 5,000 years is nothing compared to what we've done in the last sort of 800, 5,000 days in technology. And that speed of evolution technologically, we're not catching up, humans. We're not, we're meatbags, aren't we, in the way Bender sees it. And I think that I honestly believe that Elon Musk's Neuralink is being sold to people as this amazing thing that's going to be a two-way interface between brains, great for giving people that are disabled, more interactivity options with the world and things like that. They're going to sell it like that, but I actually think it's not really about that. What it's really going to be about is collecting data straight from your brain and using it to their advantage, because data's important, data's valuable, and if you've got an Elon Musk Neuralink in your brain, you won't be able to switch that bugger off. That's going to be sending data. Your thoughts are going to be beamed straight into the Neuralink. It's going to own your thoughts. So I don't see that as a big advantage to me, but I'd see it as a massive advantage to someone like Elon Musk. Massive advantage to them. And it would probably be easier, won't it? It would probably be easier for the computer to take data out of your brain than it would be for you to access the worldwide internet all at once in your brain and know all the data. So maybe there's a two-way street there that we're being missold, mismarketed, and people celebrate what's going on with that monkey. They celebrate that. Isn't it brilliant? I'll prove it. Go down here. Oh, animal cruelty ? It turns animal cruelty. Neuralink has previously shown off with a pig. Some experts remain concerned about the welfare. They said their animals were evaluated by vets, which is strange because I can't see that a vet is going to be, how is a vet going to, you drilled into its head well done, that's good for it. And I missed somewhere here, I thought there were comments, but there's no comments. Strange, I thought there were comments, but maybe they've turned the comments off. But yeah, that's going on. Is it something that would allow us to understand how they feel, or is it only one way? It's supposed to be. Elon Musk has been selling it as a two-way system of basic principle. Instead of me doing all this from now on, that goes in the bin. I've got my chip in my head and I can just do stuff, interact with it. I can turn the lights on and off. I can Neuralink my documents into existence and all that. All the while I've got chips in my head that are just, in my brain, broadcasting and linking up to the world. I mean, imagine that. Imagine being hacked, brain hacked. But we also know that just a very simple electrical stimulus in the brain can make you do and think things that's very different from the way you would normally. So, yeah. Neuralink, Elon Musk chat. I'll have to edit that off. And I've got to go and walk the dog now. I wondered if there was something else I was going to yabble on about before I left, but it turned into Elon Musk and now I forgot. So I think that was what it was, wasn't it? I think that was what it was. I'll just say thank you to you for being here. Just say thank you again. It's been good. You've been good. And look forward to more this week. We're going to try and do this interview with the game developer this week. Going to try and do that, push on with that. And more art history, more learning together, more hobbies, more enjoyment, more Johnny Depp, maybe, if you're naughty. So you be good, my little podcast. You be good. Otherwise Johnny Depp's coming.